Hey guys, so I am filming a video about the Jeffree Star Thirsty palette today. I actually already filmed this and I did it as more of a first impressions, and I went to edit it and it was really annoying because Aiden was running around making noise in the background, and I just figured that since I've used it more now, it's going to be a more helpful review since I've gotten acquainted with it better. So for the palette itself, and the box looked like this too, it has like these fake water droplets, which is really cool, and it's on the back too, that little effect. So you open it up and it has a nice mirror inside. Mine still has the plastic on it. I don't usually take that off because I find that I never use the mirrors in palettes unless I like have to take it somewhere and do my makeup on the go. Hold on. Cover up the glare with the baby wipes here. So it comes with the little plastic that most palettes come with. It has 15 eyeshadows in it. You know what, I'm trying to not get a shadow on here. Let me fix this. The mattes in this palette are really smooth and creamy, which is a change from his past palettes. He's had some creamy mattes, and like the Blood Sugar palette, I found that most of them were really dry, but they still worked well. So these are all pretty smooth. They have a nice consistency. They blend really well. Even like the blue and the green don't swatch that great, but they blend out really nicely on the eyes. So I did discover that. There are several bright colors in here that I'm not sure how crazy some people are gonna be over that. Like, I love the yellow, the blue, and the green, but I don't see myself using them that much because I found that like as I get older I don't go for the crazy bright colors like I used to, but I am gonna find ways to use them maybe on the lower lash line for pops of color. The Pressed Pigments, which is what this row is called, because you'll see on the cover it says eyeshadow / pressed pigment palette. That middle row is Pressed Pigments. That might work better if I just do that. Then it's not an ugly shot of the baby wipes in the way. The Pressed Pigments are insanely pigmented. They're really nice, but I find that they apply best with your finger. Like, even just doing this, barely touching it, they're super duper pigmented, but they don't want to pick up that great on a brush. So what I do is I just grab it with my finger and I'll either tap it over another shadow where I want to use it, or just tap it onto my eye, and they're pretty like foolproof. They blend themselves out really easily even using your finger. So they all have silver glitter in them except for this Lick one. I find that that's just like a straight up foil gold. The glitters can tend to cause fallout, but I don't find it a huge problem when I use it anyway. The stickier your eyeshadow base, the better, because then you'll have like little to no glitter fallout at all. But some people have been complaining about it. I don't find it a huge issue. It's just like with, I see these a lot as being very similar to the Natasha Denona shadows that have that chunky glitter in them. If you don't use a good sticky base and you're just trying to like blend it with a brush instead of your finger, you're gonna get glitter fallout all over your cheeks. That's what happens when you have glittery eyeshadows like that. So without further ado, I'm gonna get into swatching them for you. Give me 1 second here. Okay. It's very hot in here right now because I shut my fan off so I could film and not have it be an issue of noise in the background. So I'm gonna do the first row for you first. This first one is called Parched, and this is just a matte cream. Like I said, really smooth and nice compared to some of his other matte shadows and other palettes. Hold on, I didn't adjust this before I started filming. So I don't know how well you can see it because it's very close to my skin tone. Let me do another swipe. This one's not like insanely pigmented, but it's more of a blend out shade to blend all the other colors out. So that is Parched. Then we have Taste Buds. This is the only one that doesn't really want to stick. Like, it doesn't have that, what is the word I'm looking for? that adhesive, not adhesive, but whatever the ingredient in it that makes it want to stick to your skin. I don't have any base or primer on, but out of all of them, this is the only one that gives me that issue. It kind of, you have to have a base for this one to stick to your lid and work really well. So that is Taste Buds. Then we have Bitch with 4 eyes, I believe. This is a hot coral, is the best way to describe this. It's like straight up neon coral. That's what that one looks like. So this one's kind of coral, but it's more on the peachy side. This one is straight up coral. Then we have Kumquat. This one's kind of like a more toned down orangey color, kind of like a pumpkin. Put that one right there. That one's really nice as a darker crease color, like transition shade. And then Stroke. This one is a darker kind of burnt orange. Oop. So these are all really nice, with the exception of that Taste Buds color giving me a little bit of an issue. It's not too bad. As long as you have a primer on, it's gonna work fine. Next row, I'm gonna actually do the mattes, because when I do the glittery ones and go to wipe it, you're gonna see glitter on my hand. So I'll do the bottom row and then I'll do the middle. Subtle is like a perfect transition shade. I'm glad that this was included in here. It's like a taupey, light brown kind of shade. That one blends out really nice. I've been using that a lot since I got this. Now we're gonna get into the brights here. Well, the brights in the bottom row. Quench is a nice bright yellow. It kind of looks brighter in the pan than how it applies, and that's because I don't have a white base laid down. If you have a white base, it's gonna come out more true to what the pan color looks like. But that's still a pretty decently bright yellow, and I am picky about yellow shades. Yellows and reds are like the hardest eyeshadows to get perfect, and this is a pretty good one. Then we have Submerge, which is this super pretty bright blue. And again, I like that the formula of these are so soft this time, because if they were super dry like some of the ones in the Blood Sugar palette, and the Blood Sugar palette is my favorite of his still, so I'm not knocking that a lot of those mattes were dry, but if these were that dry consistency, I feel like they'd be really patchy when they apply, and they're not. They're nice and they're smooth and they blend nicely when you use them with a brush. So Splash is this kind of a darker mint color, like a seafoam almost. And that's a super... Those 3 colors just scream summer, like the yellow, the blue, and the green. I think he did a good job with picking the color scheme for this palette, considering it's a summer palette. And then the last one is Drizzle. I've kind of made a mess with this one. This is a warm brown, just to throw another neutral color in there. And that bottom row, I haven't had any issues with using any of these yet. I haven't used the bright ones all that much, but I have used them on my eye just to test them out, and they worked pretty well. So there's that. Now I'm gonna do the middle row for you, because these are all super glittery, except for this one, like I said, but you'll see in a minute. So this Divine shade is insane. I'm just gonna swipe my finger lightly once. It's like tinfoil craziness. So this one, you can't really see the silver glitters in there because it's so metallic, but it does have little silver glitters everywhere. That's Divine. Then we've got Filthy Rich, which is like a light gold, but it's got all that silver glitter in it. You can probably see in the glare of the light that it's got super sparkle in it. Now Lick, this is the one that I said you can't see that sparkle. It doesn't have silver glitter in it, it's just a straight up like foiled gold, and this is more of a true gold shade. It just looks like liquid gold. It's crazy. So you can see that's more of like a foil finish, where the other ones are sparkly. Then we have Snatched, which is a cool toned, like light brown, and it's got that silver glitter in it again. That one I've probably used the most so far, because even though it's super glittery and sparkly, it's a very like, I love cool toned colors, so the fact that it's brown and neutral, it's like an everyday color for me when I want sparkle on my lids. And then, what is this one? Plunge. I've got like stuff all stuck to it. I think this is glue actually from the, I don't want to dig into the shadow by accident, but this is like a little piece of glue that's stuck there from having the, this piece of plastic over it. And it doesn't want to come off, so I'll have to try and get that off later. But the last one is Plunge, and this is a more warm toned brown. Again, with that silver glitter in it. So that is the row of metallic pressed pigments. So pretty. So that row is all very neutral, like even though they're sparkly, you could get away with using all of these in the daytime, like every day. So I hope you guys enjoyed my little review of the palette. I think this video will be more helpful than the one I had recorded before and had to scrap, because that was like recorded the first day I got it and I had only swatched the shadows and not really played with them yet. So the fact that I can give you a little tips that these work very well as long as you apply them with your fingers and everything, that's kind of more helpful than it would have been when I was like, oh yeah, I'm just swatching these for the first time. I cannot get that off. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I have some more other stuff filmed and edited and ready to go up, so be on the lookout for that, and I will talk to you in my next one.